Cynical Velocity Online Racing Canadian GP press conference. Today we're only talking to two drivers, but we have interviewed three. Ramsey couldn't turn up, but we do have season two world champion SV Bradford and SV Fridays. Fridays we're obviously going to come to you as Brad's doing something. A few weeks ago you weren't really in the championship battle, and then we had obviously the Jotta's departure, and you were the only driver to really stop Brad's championship. Obviously, you wasn't able to. Are you disappointed with it, or do you feel like you were too far behind to start off with?
Well, the fact that I joined in about, 6, 7 rounds late probably should have given you the idea that I really didn't have a chance in the beginning. But Brad's fast, and regardless, I don't think I could have really had a shot, even if I had a 7 GP head start. But obviously, the actions in Hungary, especially turn 1, and all the things happening there, especially qualifying for me, kind of set me up for failure from the beginning. But after being about 60 points or so behind entering Hungary, something really I could have done. The only thing I really could have done was won the race, but I think at the pace it showed it. So other than that,
I would like to add you were just under 100 points behind going into Hungary.
Oh, I'm sorry that I can't do
Just a
math.
quick update: we are going to be interviewing Richard as well.
Oh, sweet! My teammate!
So, I
Get Darren
forgot
in here.
sorry. No.
Oh.
Too many people already. Yeah, well, obviously, the battle between Williams and Ferrari is definitely starting to heat up at the moment, with the constructors still on the line. Obviously, there's still a lot more points to grab. I'm not sure what the actual gap is at the moment until the standings are actually updated. Do you feel like yourself and Darren can pull some worldy performances and win the constructors?
Well, that's gonna be a tough tough thing to handle, really. But if we are, I think we probably both of us are similar pace and towards the sharp end of the field on most days, so we probably could have a shot to challenge it. Not sure if we're gonna have enough time to really beat them. Nice voice crack, anyway. Our best really chance is to try to get as many 1-2s in a row as possible, which we know that's not going to happen at all. So, I mean, it's going to be really, really tough to do, but I think it's still slightly possible.
Fair enough. And just lastly, we have briefly spoken about this before. Obviously, you are team principal going into next season. With obviously the midfield battle still going on, could you give us a few words for every driver that is obviously up on the market? What kind of targets and what you're kind of expecting from the drivers for next season, if you were to pick them?
Alright, so I guess mainly, like I said, I don't know when it was, I believe it was last week, when I said I don't want any incidences. So, obviously, Daniel and Max are not really the people I would have looked at if I was Christian Horner, but, we're not going to worry about that. Really, my main focus is to just score consistent points, really. I don't know where the rest of the team principals will be, when their lineups will come, but we'll have to figure that out pre-season testing for Season 3. But for now, really, the best thing I can say to all the midfield drivers is try to do the best you really can every week. Don't give up, and just try to score as many points, even if you think your race is ruined by an incident or a penalty or front wing damage. Just don't fight until you cross the checkered flag. Everything will really mean something, because even if you have, I don't know, no front wing, but you decided to stay out and be determined to finish the race, that's going to mean a lot of things to team owners and team principals and all these guys looking forward. They want a driver who's determined and actually, can actually finish the race, even if the situation is not to their liking. So that's really the best thing I can say to those guys. So other than that, just work hard.
Thank you very much. Obviously, actually, just a quick last question. Just one last question. Obviously, Canada. I'm not sure if that's a very decent track for you. What are you kind of expecting to happen on Monday?
Well, as you said, it was not very decent to me, because I don't know, it just seems cursed. Every time I've played the Formula 1 game, which is not that long, but every time I've played it, Canada's been a track that I know. It's from my previous experience in motorsports and all that stuff from before F1, but I just can't seem to nail every corner. Can't seem to get it really all set up correctly. I would be on a good lap, and then all of a sudden, it's just not fast. So I think what you're expecting from me, I don't even know, because I don't know the rest of the pace. But I'm not in contention for Brad. I can tell you that for sure. So I'm gonna have to probably get an invitation going into this race, like usual.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to come to Richard. Obviously, quite a disappointing race for you last Monday. Only just finishing outside the points. Obviously, you had a turn 1 incident. Could you give us a few words from your perspective on what happened there?
Well, I got a decent start off the line. Come from 11th. Made it up to about 8th, and then I got tapped from the rear end, and I got accused of causing a 8-car pile-up on turn 1 by 2 people. But at the end of the day, I didn't do nothing, so I didn't clip it. But tried to get back into the points to get the constructors for Ferrari, but just tried, but just weren't happening.
Yeah. Obviously, with your teammate being crowned drivers champion, would you like to add the constructors championship on top of that? Obviously, I would assume.
Oh yeah, of course.
How obviously the last kind of weeks, your performances haven't been amazing. What can you do to kind of improve on your
Practice.
performances going into the no, fair enough. Practice.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect.
That is true. Obviously, still fighting kind of midfield. Still challenging the likes of like Ramsey, Despairs. I think Darren might be just out of your reach, but you've still got plenty of races left to go. Where would you kind of like to finish within like the championship? Obviously, still a lot of races to go, lots of points up for grabs. So, where would you ideally like to kind of like finish?
I'd like to
Who
be in
would
the
you say
top
your
10.
I think you already are in the top 10. I think.
Well, I want to stay up in the top 10.
Let me have a quick look. Considering the driver's standards haven't been updated. Yeah, you're literally 10th.
Yeah.
So, and you.
Well, if I could, I'd like to
ideally
try and get up
stay
into
there.
like top 6, something like that.
You would need to start beating the likes of Daleks, Hunt, Custard, and Ramsey. So, some tough opposition there, but I'm sure you have the ability to do that. I would
To
say.
be fair, as long as you're in the top 10, Rich, you're doing what you need to do. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I tried to get into the top 10 at the last race, but
But yeah, thank you very much, Richard. We're going to
problem.
come to the final driver that we're actually going to speak to. We do have to still talk about Ramsey. Where are your thingies? Obviously, so with the Drivers' Championship in the bag with still 4 rounds to go, will we see you more relaxed, or will we see you kind of at the same kind of driving that you have been for most of the season?
You'll be seeing me the exact same as I've been all season, fighting. Might have won the World Championship, but I still need to try and get Ferrari this constructors as well. Just because, well, I've done 50% of the job. I've got to finish the job and get the other 50 down. Need to. I know me and Rich could beat Williams. We've already got, I think it's like a 50, possibly 60 point advantage over them. And they still have to try and beat McLaren, which are in between them right now. And with James on his own, it would be easy for them too, as Williams have got 2 quick drivers and James is on his own. But James is still quick in bringing in them podiums, even though he's only done Hungary at the moment. So, and then he's got to get past they've got to get past the likes on track with LET Joe in Alex when he's up there and not getting quality bands in there. But it's going to be a very nice, tasty battle between Ferrari and Williams.
Yeah, you basically just kind of answered my next question, so
I'm good at doing that. I've done it
Yeah.
from every press conference I think I've been in. Always answered your second or third question.
okay. Obviously, the Constructors' Championship still up for grabs. Obviously, Richard not able to pick up that point on Monday. Do you believe you can wrap this championship up? Or Constructors?
Definitely, I think we can do it. I've already told Rich he can do what he can. And that's what he's been doing since he's jumped over to the Ferrari team. He's done everything he can. I can't really ask any more of him because he's been doing perfectly fine with what he's doing. Getting points, trying to just help us get that advantage. But I'll be doing everything I can up trying to beat both Williams drivers.
Pardon me.
As long as I beat both Williams drivers, to be honest, they'll only be gaining between 1 to 10 points. So as long as I beat both of the Williams in the next coming races, as I'm not sure anyone else knows, but I will not be racing for Brazil. So I've got Canada, France, and China to do what I can, and then I'll be jumping into the comms box for the final time of the season. So I believe that me and Rich can seal this by China. Nice voice crack, but I believe we can get. I believe we can get this done by China.
We've had voice cracks from 2 drivers already. Yeah,
but
just
mine
one
was
last
worse
question
because
for
I
yourself.
felt like a 6-year-old kid again.
Last question for you. So obviously, with season 3 just around the corner, what words would you like to say to potential teams that would like to sign you?
There's not really much to say, like verbally. It's just since the start of the season, I've been trying to show everything what I can do on track. Normally, I have a lot to say off the track to the teams, but it's more of you kind of need to show how you can drive instead of off track. Because off track, you can be a totally different person, but it's what you want to have as a driver, not on the sideline. So, just if the driver you want, not just if you want me, but if you want another driver, just think of how they are on track instead of what they are off of track, because you want a decent driver on your team instead of someone who can talk better than they can drive, let me say. So think about how good you are on track than off of track.
Yep. Thank you very much. So the last kind of thing we're going to be doing now is actually talking to Ramsey. I've sent him 3 questions, as the same as kind of everyone else. So the first question I asked him, I said, with the midfield being so close, can you see yourself climbing above the Spares and Darren to claim best of the rest? Ramsey has put the Spares possibly, but not Darren unless he has some bad results, as he's a lot faster than me. But I feel the Spares is only a little faster than me, so could obviously see a little bit of a battle there. Obviously he was involved with the turn 1 crash at Hungary, so I asked him. Obviously there was an incident at turn 1, which obviously hasn't been discussed by the stewards yet. I asked him, can you tell us what happened at the start? He said, from my POV, as I've sent into the Clips channel, yes, I did brake slightly too late, but I misjudged it because of being wet, but the Spares was already spinning when I made contact with his car. I don't feel I was at fault for any incident, but I will leave it up to the stewards to decide. And the last question I asked him was, with Season 3 having major changes, what do you want to say to potential team principals? He's kind of asked to elaborate on the third question. So I put principals will be given a set budget. What would you say to them to encourage you to pick them as a driver? I put that I may not be the quickest, but I usually find myself in a good position to capitalise on others' mistakes in front of me. I know how to win a race if I find myself in that position. Consistent, and most of the time find myself in the best of the rest sort of position. Yeah, so that's what he's kind of had to say, which is I think kind of fair. But yeah, that is the Canadian GP press conference. Thank you very much to SV Fridays, SV Bradford and SV Richard for turning up today, and obviously a special thanks to Ramsey for, I guess, answering the questions so we can obviously talk about it in the press conference. Obviously we will be live again in around
45 minutes.
45 minutes for F2 at Monaco, which is going to be very interesting. There was talks of a new qualifying system, but we're just going to keep it as the same. So you hear it from me now, we're keeping it as the same. But next season will be different. Then obviously we will be back on Monday for the Canadian GP, not the Hungarian GP, we did that already. And then that will be obviously very interesting. You'll hear myself and SV on shot in around half an hour. But yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.